Hello friends, let's try to understand how to perform regression in Microsoft Excel. Regression is a statistical method used to understand the relationship between one dependent variable and one or more independent variables. It helps in predicting the value of dependent variable based on the value of the independent variables. So if we are talking about one dependent and one independent, we can consider that is simple linear regression. And if we are talking about one dependent and more than one independent variable, we can consider that multiple linear regression. So if you want to understand how to perform regression analysis in Microsoft Excel, let's try to take some hypothetical example. So here we have collected data from 20 students, and that data represent hour of study they have spent and their relative exam score. So as a researcher, we would like to have an assumption that if you read more, you'll get more exam score. And if you want to run a relationship test here, we can run regression analysis. So our study spent can be considered as independent variable, and exam score can be considered as dependent variable. So ultimately exam score depends on the hours that you are spending on study. That is what we are going to assume here. So let's try to understand what will be our null hypothesis in this case. So if we go by the null hypothesis, then we can assume that we can hypothesize that there is no significant relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. So when we are saying like this, there is no relationship between these two variable, that is how we are hypothesizing. And if we are talking about alternative hypothesis, there is a significant variable, sorry, relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. So it means if we accept alternative, that proves that there is a relationship between these two variables. So now let's try to run regression analysis in Microsoft Excel considering these two data sets. So for that you need to go to data tab, click here data analysis, and in data analysis there is one option regression. You just have to click here. So in input range, remember that y is your dependent variable, so y we have to give this data score. And second input x range, x is your independent variable, that is our study. We are checking this label because we have added data with the labels. Confidence level interval, confidence level we are putting at 95% only. We are not changing, and I want output in the same set, so I am selecting this data set. Other things we are not going right now, we are simply running simple regression model. So now we don't have to do anything, just have to click on OK. So once you click OK, the output has been generated, and let's try to understand it. So first of all, we are looking for a correlation value, R value, between these two variables, that what you can see here. This is the correlation value, and finally we are going to consider the adjusted R value, and this signifies that there is a strong positive relationship between these two variables, that is our studied and exam score. Then second table generated by regression analysis is a NOVA table, where it is pre-assumption. You have to check the model fit of the equation that you are generating, and here we have to look for the significant F value, and this value is significant, that is less than 0.05, and we can conclude that the model that we are running in regression, simple linear regression, is fit for the study, and the result can be interpreted. Now in the next table, that is coefficient table, you can see here the intercept value is 4.42.16, and the beta value of our study is 4.61. We have to look for the p value for our study, and here you can see that p value is less than 0.05. So when the p value is less than 0.05, let me put it here, p value is 0.00, and we can conclude that the p value is less than 0.05. So in that case we are going to reject the null hypothesis and we are going to accept the alternative hypothesis. So based on this result, we can conclude that there is a strong positive relationship between the number of hours studied and the exam score. So it means overall conclusion here is that the more you study, the better your exam score. So based on this results, that is what our conclusion. One more thing, we know that the regression equation is y is equal to a plus beta x. So if this is our regression equation, so based on the table generated here, we can write our regression equation for this model. So y is dependent variable, and in our case dependent variable is exam score. So I'm writing here exam score is our dependent variable is equal to a means intercept value. So you can see here intercept value is 42.16, then plus, and then beta value of our study. So beta value of our study is 4.61, and then we have to add one value for our study. So this is our regression equation, that what we can create based on the output that has been generated by the software. So this is our equation. So in future we can predict the exam score based on the available data of our study. And that's it. I hope you understood it properly and you like the video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.